whatever questions you have during your entire session, and we will answer these questions. And if you have questions related to the domain like cybersecurity, you can ask there. So that's all from my side. Yes, Vikas, you can continue.
Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Okay, perfect. So before we jump to our topic, I want you to I want you to understand how the web works. Okay, before that, let me ask you, do you know what is HTTP? How many of you know what is HTTP? Okay, that's pretty good. Some of you know what is HTTP. Okay, so you know what is HTTP. So in this class, what we are going to do is we talk about HTTP in depth. We cover so in this class, what we covered is we cover HTTP. What is the problem in HTTP protocol? And again, after this, we talk about HTTPS. Okay. Then we talk about what are the vulnerability we have in HTTP that are fixed in HTTPS. Okay. And HTTP is the baseline. HTTP is the baseline of web security. Whenever you want to start your career as a web pen tester, you need to first understand what is HTTP, and after that, whatever attacks you have, you perform those attacks on these levels. Okay, so let me start with HTTP. So let's say we have one user here, and here we have a server. Okay, now in order to access this website, we need a protocol. We cannot directly access a website. Okay, so generally we have in total 7 layers. Okay, if you know what is OSI model, we have 7 layers, and in each layer we need a protocol to access some files. For application layer, okay, because we are accessing our website using the Chrome or Firefox web or mobile application, to access these websites we need a protocol. And http http is the protocol that help us to get those web documents. Okay, so web pages, so it might be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So these are the documents. Okay, these documents build the websites. Whatever you see in your browser, it is nothing but the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that renders in your browser. Okay, and your browser represent this HTML, CSS, JavaScript in a graphical way so that you can navigate throughout the websites. Okay, and here we have the server. Perfect. Now the problem starts when you start sending the data to the server. Okay, you receive the website, there is nothing, no problem. You use HTTP, you access the website, there is no problem. But when the problem is, let's say you want to submit something. Let's say here in this website we have a login page, and here you entered your username password saying that hello, this is your username and this is your password. This is your password. You type your username and password in this login form and you send this to the server. Now what happened here is, any attacker in this area, since these all are the network area, right, where your data is transmitted towards the server, Now, in this area, any attacker can see your data that contains your username, and password, along with your website name. What is the website you are using, where you are logging, okay, where you are using this username and password. Let's say you are login in facebook.com. So an attacker can simply see, okay, you are sending your username and password in this website. So on behalf of you, attacker can simply steal this data and logged in, okay, and they can simply hijack your account. They can simply change the password, so you never know what is your password, and uh, you cannot just retrieve your password because they have might change the recovery option for you, right? So this is a very concerning part that happens in http. Okay, now anyone can tell me, if this is the problem, how we fix this problem? Can anyone? I think we need to look the queue around. Oh,
Mic access has been opened. If anyone wants to say anything, you can.
yeah, please.
Encryption.
Okay, encryption, that's correct. Okay, anyone?
HTTPS, multi-cryptographic algorithms
Sorry, what?
using secure protocol like HTTPS authentication.
By adding a secure layer,
Please.
SSL layer.
Okay,
Data encapsulation.
okay, perfect. Now, please mute yourself. Okay, so this is the problem in https. Okay, now in order to safeguard this data, security engineers came up with a technology. Okay, they came up with a new technology called ssl. Okay, they came up with a technology called ssl. Now ssl stands for secure socket and layer. Okay, and they put this ssl in http. So this becomes https. Now you know where this s coming from. Okay, this came from ssl. Now what does this ssl do is, again let's consider the same example here. Here we have the browser, we have the server here. Now this time when you send the data, okay, when you send the data, it goes through the tunnel. So this is the secure tunnel. So this is the secure tunnel, and let's say this is the attackers. Okay, if attacker capture all this data, so this is the attacker. If attacker captures all this data, again they got the data in this case, but instead of plain text like user, this is our username and password, right? Instead of username and password, they will receive data like this. Now by looking at these two datas, you cannot reverse to its original state, right? Same, attacker also cannot reverse this encrypted data, we call it cipher data, to its normal state, which is this, the plain text. Okay, so this is how we secure our data while transmitting in the network. Okay, so this is the network part. Okay, so this is how we secure the data. Now You need to understand one more thing. Here, everything is encrypted except the website name. Okay, what is the website you are accessing? That is not encrypted. So if attacker simply captures this data, they cannot see what you are sending, but they can see what website you are accessing. In our case, we are accessing facebook.com, right? So he can simply check that you are accessing facebook.com. Now he can also change Facebook to anything, and you got the second website request. Okay, let's say if attacker wants to change FP to Flipkart, he can simply change this, and in the response you will receive the Flipkart response. So this is not an attack, but yeah, this is some kind of thing that attacker can do. Okay, so you need to always understand everything is encrypted, but not the host name or not the website that we are accessing. Now let's ask a question. How many of you know, or what is your idea why HTTPS cannot encrypt this website name? You can use your mic and answer this question. Okay.
Sir, did you ask why this website? Why did SSL cannot encrypt the website name?
Yeah.
Sir, because of DNS. DNS resolves the IPs, and basically our computers work in between the IPs, the ports, and all.
Mhm. Okay, so is there any way to encrypt this website name?
Can be used. Can use some hashing algorithms to protect certain directories, but for encrypting the website domain itself, it would be really tricky for remembering the name. Either we can do some host like a middleman tunneling, like if we can set another DNS server that can resolve the encrypted IP, the we are
Mhm.
using the main IP and the main port, and then we are translating
Yeah.
it into another, we are redirecting it into another subdomain, then I
Mhm.
guess it could be
Okay.
possible.
Okay. Anyone? Anyone? No one?
DNS spoofing can be done, sir.
No, DNS spoofing is a other part. That is the attack part. Here, our question is, we save this data, right? The username and password, we save this data by encrypting it to this text. But again, attacker can see what or which website you are visiting. Okay. And if attacker can see what website you are visiting, they can simply change this website to any other website they want. Now, in order to safeguard this, we need to encrypt this website name so that attacker cannot identify what website we are visiting, and he cannot change the website name. Okay. So we need to safeguard this. So is there any way we can encrypt this website name or not?
Sir, to protect from man in the middle attacks.
Yeah.
We can use IPsec.
No.
Yes, resolver.
We can use some VPNs that might protect the data we are currently transferring to the server if somebody is listening through some TCP dump or Wireshark, something like that.
If you use VPN, then again, the website you are using, that is visible, right? Only your IP is not visible. Instead of your original IP, some spoofed IP showed in the response or in the traffic. But the actual website that you are visiting is still anyone can see, right?
Sir, a firewall can be used.
No.
So certification, SSL or TLS.
So that's what we are using here, na? SSL encrypts the data that we are sending. SSL does not encrypt the website that we are using or that we are accessing.
On a personal level, it can like some web extensions can be used to protect the identity of the
Okay.
website we will be visiting, right? But
Okay.
if a company want to secure the website name, then it will be like very hard to remember the names for the common people, and it may reduce the traffic and all. So
Mhm.
only on personal level, some web extensions can be used to protect the identity or the website we are visiting.
Okay.
So what about using Tor?
Sorry.
Tor.
Oh no, Tor is just a browser, no? If you use Tor, nothing happens.
So can we just disable the server signatures?
No.
Sir,
We can
I
use
have.
honeypot systems to distract the attacker.
No. Attacker is in your network. If you whatever like attacker is in your Wi-Fi network, okay? So whatever you access, that everything
Okay,
goes through the Wi-Fi, right? So
okay, sir,
whatever you
I have
implement,
a
that
little
don't
doubt.
work. Yeah.
Sir, I have a little doubt. So, is this a
Mhm.
Wi-Fi based scenario where an attacker sits between my router? He's constantly intercepting my network. Is it like that?
Yeah, but in a broad way, we just
Okay,
cannot consider the Wi-Fi. We can consider the
okay,
ISP also.
okay.
Like you
Let's
have the
talk about
ISP also.
subnet, sir. Then, for a subnet,
Okay.
can we use that word?
No, subnet is a different thing.
Okay, sir. So, what I
Mhm.
can think like, sir, if we use the uh, connected devices, the MAC addresses of the connected devices, and
Okay.
if
No,
we
that's not
register
work.
it, hmm? If
That's not
we,
work.
okay, sir.
Okay.
So
Now,
if he is talking about that, then like submitting goes into segmentation. But if you are exactly talking about protecting some of the devices, then we can also go for ACL, na, like access control list and firewall. Both things can also
no,
protect the device.
whatever you are talking about, this is the network part. We are not securing the device. We want to secure this website name. I am in my
Can't we
browser.
just isolate the network which we are using and then we can switch to
No, we
other?
cannot do. Okay, this won't work. So let's.
So,
Hmm.
so can we just implement a security in the transport layer
Here
in
we
ISA model? Because the transport layer is the medium secure support layer.
yeah in transport layer, our data transmitted in the form of bit, right?
Yes, sir.
And we are in the application layer. So in application layer, every data is visible. In transport layer, every data goes like this. Let me do this. Every data goes like this: 0 1 0 1 0 1, because this data is for computers, right? Because computer cannot understand what is H, what is T, what is P, what is S, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
we can encrypt the DNS, I mean the domain names, but the problem is it will be still visible in the certificate. And if we perform a reverse DNS process, and if we also do the encrypt the domain name, it will make the process slow. Like if DNS for the DNS resolver, it will make it slow to directly reach the web page. But it is possible to encrypt the domain name, like using DNS over HTTP and HTTPS, like that
Okay.
technologies.
Can we, sir, can we use some Cloudflare type something?
No, that only hide the website IP. Okay, let's find out the question. Okay, so let's find out the question. So I'm going to do this. This is what? This is our network. Here is our attacker. our Firefox, and yeah, here is our server. Now we are accessing some website. Let's say we are accessing example.com or bank.com, and we are transmitting username and password. Now this username and password is encrypted. That means no one can see what we have in this packet. But this attacker can simply check, okay, I don't know what is the data that is transmitted to the server, but yeah, I can simply check that this is the example.com or this is a banking site. That means attacker can simply identify, or attacker can simply guess that whatever user is doing on this banking site, he may try to log in this website, and this is may the password of the target or the victim. Okay, now if we want to just encrypt this host name, okay, so website we generally called host name. So host name, if we want to encrypt this host name, we have to use secure DNS. Okay, so first we have the DNS. Now let's understand what is DNS first in a very decent way. So when you type this, when you type the website name, your computer first, since computer don't understand this human readable language, right? So your computer first find out what is the IP address behind this website. So every website has some specific numbers, okay, for computer to understand what is the address. Now in order to find this, computer simply talks to DNS, and this is the process where your browser sends your host name, and after once the host name, your browser got the host name, then your browser start the HTTP connection to the server. Now this part is not encrypted, so an attacker can simply view this part but not this part, the second one attacker cannot see, but yeah, the first one attacker can see. Now instead of using normal DNS, we have secure DNS. So we can use secure DNS. Okay, now secure DNS encrypt this traffic. Let's say you are sending example.com to find the IP, then this example.com request is encrypted like this. This is the encrypted data that directly goes to the secure DNS server. And again, from secure DNS server, your browser got the actual website. Now you can start your secure connection. Okay. So you can use Google secure DNS server, Cloudflare secure DNS server. Okay. So these are the two popular secure DNS server that are free, that you can use to secure your website name from being intercepted. Okay. So any doubt here?
Mic access has been open for all.
Okay, so that's what the DNS over HTTP is also referred as secure DNS. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. But
So
I have a
DNS.
doubt. Like we can still see the IP address if we see the logs or if we are in the network, but still we can see the IP address.
Yes, we can see the IP address, but tell me one thing.
Okay.
So in a network, okay, this is a network. I have one computer here, one computer here. So these all are the computers, right? In a network, I have 50 computers. If I access this website, how do you know what is my computer? You have to manually come and manually intercept my network or my computer to know that, okay, this is my computer IP address. But here is the catch. If I switch off my computer and again, if I turn on my computer, the IP is changed, right?
Okay. So it add a layer of the set to it.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Sir, what if we use a fixed IP address?
Yes, we can use the fixed IP address, but you need to understand not every computer has the private IP address. Okay, we call it private IP address. Why? Because private IP address you have to purchase it from your ISP, the person who provide you the internet. Like if you have the Geo internet or Geo Wi-Fi in your home, then you have to pay extra money to Geo. So Geo will provide you the fixed or static IP address
Static IP,
that
sir.
don't change. Huh. So that is
Sir,
very
I
costly.
have a little doubt. Sir, what if the same scenario? What if
Huh.
an attackers put an like basic like HTTP downgrade attack,
Mhm.
and then what if he's using the host redirection? Like if somebody is on Active Directory, something like that, if he's into the network, I'm thinking in this
Mhm.
POV, if he's into the network, what if he's intercepting like the default settings of the Active Directory server, like the IPv6, not like if something is running on IPv6, and if he's there, how we can neutralize that threat? Like if
If
he's
some
tampering the IPv6 DNS.
Okay, now the first case you have to understand. Let's say this is a website. Okay, if this website is running on HTTPS, example.com. Now, if you remove the S, it becomes HTTP. And this website is still accessible in HTTP, then this is the HTTP downgrade attack. In this case, if anyone access or if attacker simply uh, intercept this traffic and he remove the S, then your encryption is gone, right? Then you are in HTTP mode. Now your all data is visible. In order to safeguard this, we need to add a security header. Okay, so we need to tell this website always connect on HTTPS, never connect on HTTP. So if anyone tries to remove the S, this website again redirect this HTTP to HTTPS. So this way we can safeguard this attack.
Like, sir, my question was about what if a
Hmm.
real threat who's there to
Hmm.
actually destroy the systems. My
Huh.
question was like, so he's obviously he knows that browser and the basic blue team policies that now what if he introduced a concept of a man in the middle attack like that,
Hmm.
that what if he's using self signed certificates to bypass that browser policy, and what if he uses another DNS spoofing at the same time, like the DNS hijack over man in the middle attack? How we can neutralize that threat? Like how can we detect if he is active there?
Okay, the first thing, nowadays we cannot use self-signed certificate. Okay, why? Because if you use self-signed certificate and if you open the website, no, your browser will show you error, okay, saying that this website is not secure or this website is phishingable. So be secure or be safe. And the other thing, nowadays server are more advanced. Okay, so DNS hijacking or server hijacking attack is totally rare. So we cannot perform this type of attack, but yeah, theoretically it is possible. Previously in 2000 or 2002, this attack was possible, but nowadays
Yes,
it is
sir.
not possible. Why?
In 2002, I was reading that VAPT
Okay.
document, like the APT
Huh.
document.
Yeah, so in 2000 and 2002 this type of attack is possible, but now this type of attack is not possible. Why? Because in 2000 and 2002 we are using servers, okay, architecture, but nowadays we are using serverless architecture. So serverless architecture is more secure than the traditional architecture, okay, where we ourselves maintain the server. If I myself maintain this server, if I myself created this server, then there are some chances that I misconfigured some functionality, and just because of that misconfiguration this type of DNS hijacking or DNS spoofing attacks arrives. But on the other hand, on behalf of me, let's say some security expert or some master of the server handling on behalf of me handle the server, then I just have to use the server, right? I don't have to care about security because he cares about the security on my behalf. So this type of
The
attack
cloud model,
nowadays
sir.
won't work.
The cloud security
Sorry?
models. The
Yeah,
cloud
the cloud
security
security
model.
models
Okay,
that we
sir.
call serverless architecture. So this type of attack won't work here nowadays. Any other question?
So which cryptographic algorithm is DNS?
Sorry?
Which cryptographic algorithm secures?
No, you are too low to hear.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
I was asking which cryptographic algorithm does this secure DNS is used?
Oh, which algorithm secure DNS is used?
Uh,
Okay. RSA 256-bit encryption. That is again made by Google. It is not possible to break. If you use supercomputer, it will take 30 years to break a single word. Okay. So if you have the supercomputer, it takes you 30 years to break a single word. If you have, and here what we have, here we have 256 characters long. So this is the very high encryption. Everyone use this.
So
Okay. You are not audible.
but nowadays aren't we using 204?
Yes, we are using RSA also. Yes, you are audible.
RSA 2048, sir.
Yeah, we are using RSA also. It depends.
Yeah.
Because RSA and hello.
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
You're talking about RSA, right?
Yes, RSA 2048 also, sir, is an encryption algorithm of 2048 bit key size.
Yes, we are using this also, but it again depends on the server. Let's say we use different type of encryption. Why? Because again, let's say here I have this website, okay, example.com. Someone might accessing this website using their latest computer. Someone might accessing this same website using a Geo phone, that the keypad phone computer, keypad phone mobile. Someone might using this with a old smartphone, right? So we have to understand the business need. If we totally build everything on latest model, then it don't support the old model. We have the Geo SIM, right? That only works on 4G phone. But we have feature phone also, right? So
Yes,
we
sir,
have to
I'm
think
getting
about
what you are
feature
trying to
phone.
say.
We have to think about the feature phone users also. So that's why whatever we implement on the website, on the server, we have to think it as a business idea or business dependencies.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so this part is clear. Now we are totally logged into our website. Okay. Now, after logging to the website, this is the directory. Okay. This is the server. And in server, we have some files like index. Okay. And here we have image. Here we have video. And here we have database. Okay. Where all the login stores. Now, I want to access the image folder. Okay. What I want to access? I want to access the image. Now, in server, if we want to access anything, we use a term called URL. So URL is nothing but a location where the file is. Okay. So URL stands for Unified Resource Locator. It's simply a location where the file is. If you don't provide the location, then server cannot find these files. Okay. Got it? Any question in URL?
No, sir. URL concept is clear.
Sir, can we use
URL,
homograph based attacks on the URL? Like to
what
fish
kind of
someone?
attack?
Homograph.
No, because our website is on HTTPS, right? And whatever goes through the URL, that is also encrypted.
What if I use homograph, sir? Like if I tamper the URL into something looking like Instagram.com and it's a phishing page. Like I use I from another language of like if I tamper the URL itself, now then
Okay, so this comes under the phishing attack.
yes, sir.
Nowadays, okay, let me clear you this first. Okay, now you have to think about the latest attack. Okay, whatever attack you are asking, that is the old attack, that is only practical on the theoretical point of view. Nothing is practical if you are going to the real world. Okay, nowadays, you if you want to do the phishing attack now, you have to invest lot of money. Why? You have to purchase a good server, you have to purchase a SSL, you have to purchase the domain. Okay, now if you are targeting the big companies like Google, Facebook, Instagram, they have a security policies. Okay, so you cannot buy their domain or their matching domain. Previously in 2005 2006, it is possible to buy slightly different domain or subdomain, but nowadays it is not possible. Why? Because they have implemented a new security feature that we covered in our next module, that is also in this course. We have everything in this course. What is the previous attacks that today's don't work, and what are the new attack that we are going to learn? That is a practical attack. Okay, so first case, we cannot do the phishing attack. If you want to do it, you have to invest lot of money, you have to purchase a very good server.
I'm really curious to know about how blue teamers think. Like I know the offensive part. I want to see how in real world blue teamers like implement the policies to tackle the offensive penetration.
Okay, so have you heard SOC?
Yes, sir. I have.
Yes, so under SOC we have SIEM team. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so that team made the policies. I will clear you. Again, we are not in our topic, so this is just off topic question. So I'm again going to describe this. Let's say this is the organization that we are attacking. Okay, here we have some blue team, some SIM, some SOC team also. Now, in order to get inside this network, we scan this network, okay, for open ports. Now, SIM team know that, okay, any attacker can scan our open ports. So what they did is they use a strong firewall, okay, and they use IDS, they use IPS. This IDS look every request what comes in this network, and if IDS identify that, okay, someone is trying to scan the network by sending the sync async pack, okay, sync async network packet, then this IDS triggers the IPS, and this IPS simply triggers the SIM or blue teaming alert. Okay, so this IPS simply alert this team now, and then this team simply identify the IP and they block this IP. That's how they simply mitigate this type of attack. But once the attacker inside the network, it is very hard to mitigate this type of attack, because once I am inside the network, no one can identify me, like if I am the attacker or not. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how they simply mitigate this type of things. Okay, so let's again go in our topic. Now let's talk about the URL. Whatever we have to access, we need a location for these files, okay, and we provide this location in the form of URL, and this request directly goes to the server, identify the location, and extract these files for us, and those files are visible to us on our browser. Got it? This is how the URL works. Now there are other thing in URL also. We have some components in URL. So do you know what type of components we have in URL? This is very important, right? Most people only know what is URL, but they don't know what are the component we have in URL. So first we have protocols.
Sir, domain, subdomain.
Yes, that we also have. First we have
Sir, schema, protocols, host name, domain names, ports,
perfect.
path, and if some
Sir,
query
there is
like
query.
Also
Yeah.
TLD also. But of
So,
domain.
so this is the schema, right? Now we have different types of schema like FTP. HTTP is one of them. After that, I'm talking about URL, okay? After that, I can simply provide a username and password also. So after our schema, let's say I provide this username. So this is my username. And after username, I put this @ sign and provide the password. So this is my username and password. Okay, so this is username and password. We can provide username and password in URL also. After simply adding username and password, again we have to provide that @ sign, and here we can provide our website name. So this is the website name, and after website name, here we have the port number. If we are using HTTP, then in this case this is the port number 80. You don't have to manually provide this, okay? And after this, here we specify what are the location we are going to. So in this case, dashboard.php. So this is the location we are going. After this, we have this question mark, okay, and here we have some parameters, okay, and here we can simply pass our value, okay. So this is what the location, the URL location looks like. This is the part we are going, and this is the website we are accessing. This is the username and password, and yeah, at the last we have scheme. So everything everything becomes URL if we combine them. Important thing here to notice, scheme is mandatory, okay. Every URL has the scheme. So this part you'll find this everywhere. This part also you'll find everywhere. Now after this you'll find it everywhere, but the username and password you won't find this, okay. Again, this is possible to pass username and password in the URL form, but this is not usually the case, okay. So this is how URL look like. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, perfect. Now we will talk other thing about URL. Before that, let me simply ask you, how many of you know how to use Kali Linux?
I know, sir. I used a bit.
Okay,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Most of the tools in Kali Linux and using the CLI, we are familiar with it.
okay,
Sir, I use Arch.
okay. So
I
we have, okay, so we have one tool in Kali Linux, that is curl, CURL.
Yes, sir.
So how many of you know what is that tool do?
Sir, curl,
It's
when you click
basically
the
it
request
is
IP address to give you
One by
some
one, please.
request the IP address, it will get some data back, sir, like detailed data of a particular IP.
If
Sir, it
we,
interacts with the server and it works like a messenger from server to
okay,
client.
okay,
Sir, curl can be used to find if the domain, if a particular IP address is existing or it's down, the server is up or down, sir, using a curl request.
okay,
So we use
Sir,
curl
one
to,
simple line would be that we use CURL just to
mhm,
transfer the data. What we say, like suppose there is a client device and there is a server, to transfer the
mhm.
data between them using the protocol we already have. Like we were just talking about HTTPS, or there is file transfer protocol. That is the main use of CURL.
Okay, now in simple terms, okay, we'll discuss what is curl. Before that, what is the full form of curl? Anyone know what is the full form of curl?
Client URL.
That's correct. Wow. Okay, so client URL, as the name says, you can think like this. This is a command line browser, okay, but there is a catch. It didn't render HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, when I mean it didn't render HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, it simply means it cannot convert HTML, CSS, and JavaScript into a website. Curl simply provide you the response in the form of codes. Okay. Now, why we use curl? That is the main question. We use curl to debug the application or to find some sensitive information. Okay. Developers use this to debug. debug the application. But in our case, we use this to what? We use this to find
Interact with the server, sir. Like the manual way of using burp suit, I guess.
which one? The curl.
Yes, sir. Like
No,
the
curl.
responder and the features burp suit has, we can use with curl.
No. Burp is a different thing and curl is a different thing.
Sir, I believe if both things are working based on response and those client and server and interaction, that it might.
You can simply imagine curl as a command line browser and burp suite as a proxy. So that is the tool. This is the browser. Got it? You cannot change the response in browser, right?
I was just talking about one feature of the burp, sir. I was imagining it in that way only.
Okay, but you have to understand burp suite has the different features that curl don't have.
Sir,
You cannot.
Sir, I'm learning how to interact with web applications without burp. So it was just a curious question out of that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You no need to be sorry. I'm just simply giving you the knowledge that both these things are different. We have the practical thing. Okay, we have the practical. I'm going to show you some commands that you have to perform. That is for today's tasks. Okay, before that, I'm giving you this example of curl. Now what is curl? Why we use curl? Okay, so the developers use this to debug a website. Now we use this to find a secret information under this HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. Okay, now there are some options that we can use with curl. Okay, so I'm going to show you what are the options we have with curl and how can we use curl. Okay, so are you interested for practical?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let me uh on my VM first. So I hope everyone knows what is virtual machine and what is virtual box.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what you prefer most, virtual machine or virtual box?
First box.
So I use
Wow.
I use VMware, sir. VMware.
Virtual
Yeah,
box.
VM is best, right? Because yeah, virtual shows some issue.
Sir, VMware has a new look, sir. It's the good design and it's fast also. And VirtualBox, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And one more thing,
Yes.
VMware has pretty good support with all the operating systems, right? VirtualBox don't have.
Yeah,
If you
sir.
install some operating system and some tools in uh, VirtualBox, it starts showing some error, but this is not the case in VMware. So here I simply open this command prompt. Okay, now is it visible? Do I have to maximize this?
No, sir. It's visible, sir. It's clearly visible.
Let me simply zoom it so that I cannot zoom it. Yeah, maybe I can. Now, so this is how we use curl, and after that we specify a website name. But this, in this case, I specify this example.com and I got the response. Now here, let me maximize this. We got this response, right? HTML, some H1 tags are there. Okay, here we have the title. Let's see if we open the same website in browser, what happens. So see, did you see the difference? Browser convert this code into graphically entertaining website, but curl don't convert this code. They simply show you the same code. Okay. Now, if you want to find out where this code is, you can simply left click on your browser, click on view page source. So this is the thing that browser converted. Okay. And this is what the thing curl don't convert it. Okay. So here we have all the thing. You can simply match it. Here we have
So
the
the
title.
curl
Right?
is like CLI and browser is like GUI,
Yeah.
right? Kind of.
Yeah. Curl is like a CLI browser and normal browser is the GUI browser. Here we have the title,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Example.com. Here we have some color coding, right? The CSS we called. Then here we have H1, the heading that we have here. What is the heading? Example domain. And if I go here, simple, we have the same heading, example domain, right? So this is the difference in curl and the browser. Now, in browser we don't have lot of option to debug the website, but in curl we have some option to debug the website. Okay. So do you know some of website that we can use with curl?
Google.com.
Okay. So let's use that example.com, our same website. Now, if I go to this page, again I have this page, right? What if I want to download this page, or what if I want to download some particular file from a website? So to download this page, right, we don't have any download option in our browser, correct? But whatever, again, we don't have any download option to download this website or download this particular page. We are at index.php, right? So this is the page location. That means this is the URL we passed here. If I want to download this index.php, in browser I don't have any option, but in curl I can simply do this. So in order to download anything using curl, you have to type curl and then hyphen and then capital O. Okay. And then the website with the URL. Okay. And if you hit enter, this will download the website. Did you see percent total received? This is the downloading showing you in your terminal that you download something. What we download? We download this thing, index.php, right? We specify this URL, index.php, and we download this. Okay. So this is how we download anything using curl. Now let us open whatever we have in this. So here in index.php, we have this file. So this is just an example. This is just a one way, one use how we use curl. There are different use, okay, that we covered throughout the course. Now, one more thing. We download this thing, right? And we have this thing. If you want to remove this from downloading, then you have to pass one more query or one more option. This is our command, right? To download. What is the command? This is the command to download, right? Now, if I simply type -s, and if I quickly download the file again, I don't see that downloading banner, right? If I remove this, I will see the downloading banner. If I add this, I don't see the downloading banner, right? So -s means silent. Whatever you are downloading, If you don't want to have this banner, then you can use the silent option. Okay. So do you have any doubt here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to assign you today's class task. Okay. You have to use curl. First, just go to curl and type -help. Hit enter. You have different types of options here. Data, we talk about this O, right? We talk about this O. Write output to file name as remote file. It simply says that whatever file we are downloading, it will name it those file. In our case, we are downloading index.php. Our download name will be index.php. If we use capital O, if we use small o, we can provide our name. Okay. Now, again, use curl help. Type HTTP. It will show you all the options available for HTTP protocol. Okay. Here, we type curl help, right? We only see the normal uses of curl. Here we type curl help HTTP, and here we have all the available options we can use with HTTP protocol. So here, these are the things we can use with curl, and developer use these options to debug websites, and we have to use these options to penetrate the website or to tamper the website. Okay. One by one, we use all these options that are very important for us to learn if we are going to do cybersecurity, right? Your task is to try to use at least 5 options of HTTP protocol using curl. Okay. I show you 2 options using -s and using -o to download the file. Now you have to do it 3 options. You have to use 3 options at your own. Okay. You can find the easy one, the easy 3 option here. Again, if
Sir,
you
when
have the
should we
same doubt,
submit the task, sir?
from tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So with this, I want to conclude our today's session. Okay. So this is your task you have to do.
So, sir, we should use any 3 of the HTTP ones, right, sir?
Yeah, HTTP one.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining this session, and I hope you all enjoyed today's session. That is the web security, right?
Thank you, sir.
And
I'm
I
really
assume,
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, sir. Sir, can I just ask one question? I'm really sorry to interrupt, sir. Yeah.
yeah.
So actually, sir, I'm not using directly